Call to order the Town of Winslow, Maine Town Council meeting, Wednesday, January 20th, 2021 at 1 p.m. I'll have a roll call. Tanya, can I have a roll call if Lisa's not there?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Twitchell?
Yeah.
Jerry Clarion? Jeff West?
Yes.
Lee Trahan?
Yes.
Peter Drapo?
Yes.
Joseph Gravel?
Yes.
And Ray Karen?
Yes. If we could all rise, say Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States
of America,
Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
liberty and justice for all. We'll do the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which was none at this point. There's no communications during this meeting. There are no reports of committees and commissions at this special meeting. There is no public comment at this special meeting. Our table business will remain on the table. And then old business, there was none. And now moving on to new business. Order number 02-2021, providing for authorization for the town manager to sell the property located at 16 Hayward Road, tax map 010 lot 018-001 for the amount of $2 million.
So moved.
Second.
I think it was so moved by Jeff West, seconded by Lee Trahan. Or at least we'll go with that at this point in time.
Why don't we just go with that for this?
Okay, I just didn't hear it. Everybody said it at once. Erica, would you like to comment and have maybe Dawn comment? Before
we have an
start the
offer.
open discussion?
Sure. We have an offer on the table for $2 million. I will let Don speak to any more specifics, but believe it's a fair offer considering the current state of the property and that we will be needing to put money in that down the road if we were to keep it. They're going to have to put some money into it as well when they take over. So I think given the market and the state of the building that it's a fair offer from Orion, and it's also a business that we want to keep here and keep growing.
And I would agree with that, Erica. I think it's a very fair offer, and I think with them being the tenants, I think that certainly keeps them in town and solidifies that commitment here to Winslow, and becomes taxpayers here for the near future. There are some issues with the building. They are well aware of them because they've been there, and I think. There would be some work that would need to be done to that building in the near future if we continue to hold on to it. So
there's no contingency that we have to pay to have it done, all right?
No, there is a contingency that they have the right to have an inspection done, but there's nothing that commits us to doing anything further on that property unless you made that decision at the point. They have a due diligence period where they will continue to do their due diligence. I think they pretty much know what they're doing. I think it's a matter of just getting through the process and getting their financing lined up. And I don't see it as an issue. I think I feel pretty confident with this offer. And then with the fact that, that Johnny's wants to remove that alleyway, just kind of complicates them. And we don't really want to, it's going to be tough for them as it is, that they're going to have to stop loading their freight out the door and back in this other door where the Johnny's building is. And I think that just adds to all the frustration with them. So I'd love to get this nailed down as soon as we can.
Yeah, Dawn, is the $2 million, is that firm and it's not contingent on any findings during the inspection?
It's a solid offer. If there were something that came back, they could ask for it. Nothing commits us to pay for it though. There's nothing in there that says that we have to correct anything. If they came back and said, the roof's gonna fall in tomorrow, you know, we don't want to buy it unless you do this, that's a decision you guys would have to make at that point. But nothing there commits us to, you know, to taking less than that, correct?
And how long is this process going to take where they're going to do the inspection and their due diligence? Do we know, Erica or Dawn?
Yeah, they want this closed by March 16th, I believe is the date that I saw. I'd have to go back and check the agreement, but I'm pretty sure that was the date that they were looking at. They were looking to get it done. They wanted to get it done fairly quickly. It is actually March 20th, excuse me. Yeah.
Want to
16th.
get done before the end of the first quarter, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Dawn,
Okay.
the new contract does read March 15th closing date.
Geez, the one I'm looking at says the 20th, Peter. They updated it, Peter. They sent it to us because they had to remove on the back page where it said Maine a limited liability company.
Okay,
They changed it, and they changed the closing date to be 60 days from today's date.
now on the earnest money, have they put that down yet?
Not yet, not until we have a signed contract. Once we have a
Okay.
signed contract, then we'll get that earnest money. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So Peter, yeah, Don.
Yep.
Says seller, Town of Winslow. What did they change that to?
It left it Town of Winslow, but they eliminated what said a limited liability company.
Yeah,
They had underneath the Town of Winslow written a Maine limited liability company, which was not correct. It was not accurate.
okay, well, who wrote this contract?
The broker for the attorney or the broker for Orion.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
A lot of the verbiage in is pretty standard for most all of our contracts. I've went through it. I've read it. I know Erica's read it. I know Bill Lee's read it. I think I feel pretty confident. There's nothing scary in there, nothing out of the ordinary.
And Erica will get a copy of the inspection and any progress to date or
Nope.
any issues?
No, you're not entitled to it. If they wanted to share it with us, they could, but they're not required to provide us with a copy of the inspection.
Okay, only if there's a discrepancy that they want to, they
Correct.
want to mitigate or something.
That is correct.
Any other questions before we close discussion on this?
Erica, are we gonna escrow money out of this for the removal of the passageway? Or are we just gonna take it out of general fund?
We were just going to take it out of our capital funds. We have to split it with, we're splitting it with Johnny's. So we have the money there. The proceeds from the sale, though, we are looking at escrowing some of that. We're looking at a half and half. That'll be a decision for you all to weigh in on when it comes to budget. But the proceeds, we've got some upcoming needs for our roads and such, but we also need to replenish the reserve funds, your rainy day fund, so to speak. So I'll have some suggestions on that, but it'll be up to you all how we move forward with that.
Okay, thank you.
And Erica, you'll have that at the February meeting, I would imagine. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because what we had done is talked about, and I'm not going to get into any of the discussions except for Orion Rope at this time. So I think
Right.
February meeting would be the appropriate place, which is very soon to have the discussions on, let's not put the cart before the horse when the proceeds we haven't got yet. So,
Yep.
and that'll be at least, we'll know a little bit more by then. I think by then we'll might know a little bit more about any issues that might come up, and hopefully none will. Is there any other further discussion by the council at this point in time?
Ray, I want to say something. Your share won't come out until March.
Yeah, my $40 a meeting or whatever. That sounds great. If there is no other discussion at this point in time, would somebody please make a motion to?
I make a motion.
You do have Bill Lee logging in right now as well, just in case you wanted to ask him any questions prior to moving
Yeah,
forward.
if he's in now, why don't we just why don't we just wait till we take a vote on that? And he's in now. Bill, are you there now?
I am.
Okay. We have just been talking about it. And do you have anything you want to add to this conversation at this point?
Apparently not. He's drinking.
Hey, Bill, do you have anything you want to add at this point?
The contract regarding the purchase and sale agreement?
Yes.
Yes, besides
Right.
any legality of the sale at this point.
No, things appear to be appropriate. My concern. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
On and off, it's a little bit.
Okay.
We can't hear you now, Bill.
You cannot, well, I wasn't saying anything.
Okay, so that's why.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
I can
we
hear
can.
you now.
10-4.
Okay. My biggest concern had been that we had sufficient time between the contract. You can't?
We can.
No, we can.
Yeah, we hear you. Go for it.
Okay. My concern with the contract has been addressed. It's a moving 60-day period for the completion of inspections and so forth. I was afraid we weren't going to have sufficient time with the way it had been worded earlier, but that's been corrected.
Okay, and given that fact, no other issues that anybody can be, does anybody, I'll repeat just one more time. Does anybody have any discussion items or any issues they want to bring up before we close discussion?
Negative.
Negative,
No,
then
negative.
I think we have a motion, but
In a second.
in a second, so. If not, Tanya, can I have a roll call on that, order number 02-2021, please?
Yep. Ben Twitchell,
Yes.
Jerry
Yes.
Carrion, Jeff West,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Peter Drapo,
Yes.
Joseph Gravel,
Yes.
Ray Karen.
Yes. And
Okay.
one of the things that I just want to mention before we adjourn the meeting is I'd like to thank all the people that were involved in the sale of Johnny's and Orion over the past really 2 years. That was, I think, if I remember right, Jeff, you were on that original committee with somebody that I'm sure I'm going to miss a few words. Thanks to Mike.
Ken
Mike,
Fletcher.
Yep, and Ken. Thank you, Erica, for the continuous support that you've had spearheading this project moving forward. And I'd like to thank everybody for all their hard work. And Bill, thank you very much. Don, thank you for representing the town of Winslow in this issue. I thank you very much. You've been a great help. And
Can I ask a question? Will this require another reading or is this
I
it?
thought we were gonna go both today.
we're going to try to do both today, but we'll do the first reading first.
We just did it.
Yep, okay, so now I need a motion.
So
to
moved.
waive
I
the
make a
second
motion
reading.
that we do the second reading right off.
Second.
Yep, we're on the table. There's a motion on the table to waive the second reading on order number 02-2021. Can I have a motion in a second, please?
You have it. Jerry did it and I seconded it.
Okay, sounds great. So let's open up discussion at this point in time. Erica, anything else? There's no issues with having the second reading tonight, right? Today, right?
No, the only thing I would add to, and again, I am in no way trying to force the council's hand on that, just pointing out that getting it done is not only important to Orion to get their timeline met, but on our end, it's beneficial to meet that closing date because that will get it on our current year's tax rolls. as long as we have it done before April 1st.
Okay,
Bill has something.
yep, go
Sure.
ahead, Bill.
And with the contract as it's written, we really do need to take the second reading here today to be able to have that 60-day window fit within the context of the contract. You have until March 20th.
Right, and, you know, I
Wait till
think.
February, you won't make it.
Yes, and, you know, I think I mentioned at the last meeting that only under extreme emergencies or, you know, very vital timeframes are we to waive the first reading, waive the second reading. But in this particular case, I think that this is warranted to waive the second reading, not to waive it, but to have it on the same day as the first reading.
I think
So-
we all agree, Ray.
Yep, I just want to state, you know, that we're trying not to do that as much as we can this year. Is there any other discussion on waiving, on having the second reading at this meeting? If there is no further discussion, Tanya, could we have a roll call, please, on waiving the second reading and accepting?
Ben Twitchell,
Yes.
Jerry Kirian.
Yeah.
Jeff West,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Peter Drapo,
Yes.
Joseph Gravel,
Yes.
and Ray Karen.
Yes, and also on thanks is Peter did a lot of work on investigating this issue also and communicated to Erica on some issues too that were helpful. Given the fact that I think we're all done, is no discussion items at this point in time. Erica, do you have anything you want to say before we adjourn?
No, I just
Make 'em all
appreciate everyone on the
adjourn.
council. Appreciate everyone on the council working to get this done and agreeing to call the special meeting. Glad that we could put this one to rest. And
It's a
also-
freebie too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, thank you for everybody. If I could, I would entertain at this point in time a motion to adjourn.
Jerry did.
I'm open for it.
Jerry did a motion to adjourn and a second by
I
Ben.
second it. Yeah.
Second, Tanya, can I just have a roll call to adjourn, please?
Yep, Ben Twitchell,
Oh, yes.
Jerry
Yes.
Kirian. Oh, God. Jeff West,
Yes.
Lee Trahan,
Yes.
Peter Drapo. I'm assuming it's a yes.
A no vote is a yes vote.
Okay. Joseph Gravel
Yes.
and Ray Karen.
Yes. Thank you very much. We will see you in the near future. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.